Hi, and welcome to the sixth video in our PowerShell Universal project series, where we are building a help desk tool that will help us manage our Active Directory users, which means we're going to be able to unlock, enable, disable, and also reset passwords for users that call into our help desk. In the last videos, we've done our unlock, we've done our enable and disable. The only thing that is left to build out now is our reset password functionality. So in this video, we're going to be building our endpoint that is going to generate us a randomized password. So this will be something that's actually very useful for maybe other projects that you have as well. And then we're going to be going ahead and adding that button into our application and putting that functionality in there. And then we will be all complete on this project. So let's go ahead and let's go and build out that endpoint or that API route. So let's go into endpoints here. We're going to create our new endpoint. Our URL is going to be helpdesk/reset password. We're going to make that a post method here. And then we're just going to put the path as a ./helpdesk-reset password.ps1. And then we're going to put the security, again, as I've mentioned in the last couple videos, I only want the administrator user, as we know that when we created this, I only put reader and administrator, but maybe you'd want your help desk users to be operator and you'd want them to have this permission. So you can definitely add in the operator role on top of this if you're using the operator role for the roles that have access to this resource. So you're going to want to just add in the roles that you want to have access. And then for the execution, we're going to pick PowerShell 7, and we are going to do the run as our PSU's user service, which has the permissions to do these actions in Active Directory. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on OK here. And what we're going to go ahead and do here, like we did in the last video, we're just going to go into our unlock user, and we are just going to copy paste the first two lines here to get our information from our body. There's no real point in rewriting that all the time. I know it's a very simple rewrite, but we can just copy paste that. It works very easily. So we are grabbing our body and we are grabbing the username. So all we're really expecting from our application or from our users is just a simple passing in the user. Our endpoint will do the rest. It will generate the password. We don't want the users to be manually typing in what they want the password reset to. We just want to generate a strong password. So what we first need to do here, of course, is set up a length that we want that password to be. I'm going to put that to 15. Now, of course, this would really depend on what your password policies are in Active Directory. So you're going to want to make sure that you can fit the most restrictive password policy. So if you have a minimum password count of 20, you would want to put this length to 20 instead. But I'm going to be putting it to 15 here. And now the other variables that we want is I'm going to create a variable called upper. I'm also going to be creating a variable called lower. And we're going to be creating a variable called numbers. And we're going to be creating a variable called special. All right, and what I actually have here is I have a notepad here of the different values that I actually want for upper, lower, and number, so I don't have to retype them out with you guys. But basically, upper is the entire alphabet in uppercase. Lower is the entire alphabet in lowercase. And numbers, of course, is the numbers of 0 through 9. And then special here, you can put in any special character you would actually want to have in the password here. So I'm just going to put a couple here, some that are usually pretty easy for users to actually put in. Sometimes you want to avoid the harder characters that people might not necessarily know how to actually make on their keyboard, or just to reduce some of the ambiguity. Another thing that people will often do is remove the O's from the alphabet. I'm going to leave the O's here because it's pretty easy to tell which one's an O and which one's a 0 at least. But you can make this anything you really want. And what we're going to do is we're going to want to make sure that our password contains at least one of each, so it conforms to the typical Windows strong complex password if you have that in your password policy. Now, again, if you don't have the forcing complexity in your password policy, one, I would definitely highly recommend putting that on, because it's going to force people to have at least 3 of the 4 of uppercase, lowercase numbers, and special characters, which will just make your password policy a lot stronger against brute force attacks. All right, so what we're going to do here is we are going to create another variable called all, and all we're going to do is make that equal to upper plus lower plus numbers plus special here. And now what that is that's just combining all of our different variables. So what we're going to first do is we're going to generate the first portion of our password as one from upper, one from lower, one from numbers, and one from special. And then the rest will be completely randomized from the entire bank of available characters. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a password here. So we're going to create password as just a variable here, and we're going to create that as a array here. So we're going to do a @ symbol and then a pair of parentheses, and we're going to do the first one as upper, and we're going to do a square bracket, and then we're going to do another set of square brackets inside. And here we are going to do the system dot security dot cryptography dot random number generator. And then after the set of square brackets there, we're going to do a 2 colons, and we're going to do a get int 32. And then we are going to put the upper limit of that as upper dot length here. And what that's going to do is it's going to get a random character from 0 to the length of our upper array and pick something from that. All right, and then what we're going to do is we are going to do the exact same thing for lower, and we're going to do the exact same thing for numbers, and we're going to do the same thing for special. So all we can actually do here is just copy paste that one portion and then just change the $ upper to the correct variable that we are using here. So this is going to be the first part of our password. So this is going to be an array of 4 characters, and it's going to have 1 character from upper, 1 character from lower, 1 character from numbers, and 1 character from special. And then what we want to do here is while password.count is less than our length that we want, we are going to go ahead and we're going to do a set of curly brackets, and we're going to do password plus equals. And now what we want to do is we want to do the all variable, and then we're going to do the exact same thing here. So we're going to do that square bracket, and we're going to do the all dot length here. So what this is going to do is going to generate, again, the first 4 characters are going to be 1 of each. And then for the remainder, it's actually going to go through and pick a random character from the collection of all the different collections that we have. So it's going to be completely randomized here. But at least we're ensuring that we have 1 of each, which is going to match our password policy. Because if we did the entire thing from all, now the likelihood of it having 1 of each character, probably a pretty good chance, but it's not guaranteed, which would then have errors come up. This way, it just guarantees that that password is always compliant. All right, and then what we're going to do here is we're going to do a plain text password here, and we're going to make that equal to -join, and we're going to do a set of parentheses, and we're going to do password, and then we are going to do a pipe, and we're going to do sort object here. Oops. And then we are going to do a set of curly parentheses, and we are going to do a square bracket of system dot security dot cryptography dot random number generator. And we are going to do a, after the square bracket here, do a 2 colons get int 32. And then we're going to do a set of parentheses here, and we're going to do a set of square brackets inside of there. We're going to do int colon max value here. So that's going to actually randomly sort our password by a seed of a random character here, or a random number, I should say. All right, and then what we're going to do after that is we are going to create a variable called secure password, and we are going to make that as convert to secure string. Our string is going to be plain text password, and we're going to make that as plain text, and we're going to make sure that we force that there, so it's going to make it into a secure password. And then what we're going to do is we are actually going to reset our user's password now. So we're going to do a try set of curly brackets here. We're going to do set AD account password. And we're going to do identity is going to be username. The new password is going to be secure password. We're going to be doing a reset. We're going to do a confirm is false. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do our server here, which is jacked.local. Then if that works correctly, what we're going to do is we're going to return the password has been reset. And then we're going to pump in our plain text password. Then we're going to add our catch here. And we're going to do return error resetting the password. All right, and then what I like to do is I like to just add the actual error in here in case we need to do any kind of troubleshooting. So let's go ahead and let's hit save here. And then let's go into our application now. Oh, actually, let's go back into our endpoint. What I actually like to do is I like to always go into test here, and we can just grab that URL and copy that here. And if we go into our application, into our pages, edit that here, and let's go into our buttons here. So we have the button disable. So right after that, right before our list here, we're just going to paste in that URL so we don't lose it. And then we're just going to go ahead and we are just going to copy the entire disable button. And we're just going to paste that in here. And then our body, we're just going to remove the status because all we need is the SAM account name. And then I'm just going to cut our URL that we pasted in here. We're just going to paste that into our invoke REST method. And btn disable is going to be btn reset. And the text is going to be reset password. Now, as we can see here, let's just go ahead and let's hit save. And let's just see if this actually ends up working here. Let's just open that in a new tab here. Put in our credentials here. And let's view the application. And let's go into test here. And let's go test employee 1. And now we can actually see here the password last set was July 25th here. If I click on reset password here, now you can see that it pops up really quickly in this UD toast here, and we can see password last set is now July 26th, which is today. But it doesn't really give us the ability to really communicate that password back to the person calling in. Like, we kind of lost that password really quickly. So what I like to do is I like to go back into our application here. And with the UD toast, because like I said, I really like the UD toast for troubleshooting. It really kind of helps out a little bit because we can actually see that it worked at least. But let's go ahead, let's copy paste a show UD modal here from the catch. And instead of the new typography, if you do not have the appropriate rights here, what we can actually do is, let's just go ahead and let's put the response or the text as our response here. And let's go ahead, let's hit save. And then let's go back into our application here. Let's go ahead, let's hit test. And let's go test employee 1 here once again. And let's hit reset password. And there it is. So now we get that nice little modal that we actually have to manually click close on, and we can actually copy paste this password into our chat, or we actually have the time, to verbally give this password over the phone to our user that's called in that needed a password reset. So this is really, really awesome. And then we can just hit close and the password's been reset. So that is amazing. Everything is actually complete here for our Active Directory help desk tool. Now, there are a bunch of other things that you guys can actually do with this project now. You would have the ability to also, maybe for some users, maybe this is where I'm saying, like, you'd maybe want to add a little bit of extra permissions other than just the administrator and the reader that we did. Maybe the administrator, you'd want to give that only to your system administrators and then have the help desk role as an operator or executor or something like that. And then maybe for just the administrator role, have a button that lets you add a user or delete a user based on what it is. So this way you're avoiding having to do that directly in Active Directory. You can add some logging in there as well, which is just gives you a lot more control and avoids people playing directly in Active Directory. And especially maybe more so for the add user, you can put in all of the fields that you require to put in there, like an employee ID, like a title. Whereas when you're creating a user in Active Directory, you're really not forced to put in that information. And even in the basic entry, you aren't able to put those details in there unless you're doing like a PowerShell script. But if you want to make that really, really simple and create a nice interface, and you have the add user, you have a modal come up that has all the fields that you require. And then once that gets done, it creates the user. And in the back end, you have a bunch of code that will generate the username, generate the password, and then you can spit that back out on the screen for them to be able to give that info to the employee. So there are a lot of things that you can still do to this application to make it your own. If you guys want to see something added to this application as well, please let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to do every single one of those. Please, if you haven't already, also hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Also, be sure to hit that notification bell to be notified when that next video comes out, and I will see you guys on the next video.